What's up guys, it's Josh. We're back here in the Parker Performance Garage, and today we're going to bring to you a special install. This is obviously, you know, we love and support UPR products. If you follow our page, you know that we all run the UPR catch cans on our cars. This is the industry first for UPR. This is the 3rd gen Coyote catch can, and specifically for the ProCharged 3rd gen Coyote cars. Today we're going to walk you through the steps of installing it. We're going to flash through some movie magic to make it look really easy, and then like Uncle Bill says, you'll be back on the road in no time. Battery extension. Go. Ready?
Action.
As with any good install, you should start by disconnecting your battery. In the S550 Mustang, you've just got these couple of clips right here, and we'll get those pulled out now. In this instance, this car is equipped with hood struts, so we're just going to slide our battery cover up the hood strut and out of the way. And once you've got your battery cover removed, we're going to use a 10mm, and I'm using a 6-inch extension on an easy ratchet. You just peel back. Okay, once you have your battery cover out of the way, you're gonna use a 10mm socket. I'm using an easy ratchet and a 6-inch extension. You're just gonna come here and loosen this 10mm. Okay, once that's free, you want to get yourself a trim removal tool, and you're gonna pop this off of the stud here. Okay, once that's removed, you'll now have access to remove your 15mm holding your strut tower bar on. Do the same thing on the other side, and then you're gonna snake the strut tower bar out from underneath your battery terminal there. Okay, next up, you wanna remove your engine cover. We're gonna use a very fine flathead screwdriver here. You're just gonna get in here and press in there. There's 10mm just inside. A little bit of movie magic, she'll come right up. Okay, engine cover's off. Okay, so now that you've got your battery disconnected, your strut bar removed, your engine cover out, next we're gonna try and get to your PCV lines that are factory connected to the ProCharger based on your ProCharger install. The key here is there's gonna be some variances based on who did the install on your ProCharger, how you ran the PCV lines for that. So basically what we're gonna do now is we're gonna show you the removal of the radiator cover and the access to the PCV lines from our ProCharger install on this vehicle. You're gonna start with the trim removal tool, and you're just gonna get underneath here and remove all the pins. Okay, as you can see here, this is the PCV line that's going over currently to the passenger side's valve cover. This runs across the top of the AC condenser through here underneath the radiator panel, and it tees into the ProCharger inlet over here and behind the driver's side headlight. We're actually going to remove all of this. We're going to remove the passenger side valve cover, we're going to remove the driver's side valve cover, and we're going to remove everything from the T-barb fitting of the ProCharger. Okay, now in a bit of movie magic, I've already disconnected the bumper, and I've already gone underneath the car and disconnected the T-fitting so that we could show how the removal of this coming out of the car is. Okay, so once you've removed your PCV lines from both the driver and the passenger side, the next thing and last thing that you're going to do as far as the removal process is you're going to remove the plug on the intake manifold port. Follow me. We're going to just get that clamp off. Now this would have been plugged on your ProCharger install, and we're gonna come back to bringing that back to life with the UPR catch can install. Okay, now with everything removed, the first process of getting the can installed, we're gonna start with, you're gonna get a little baggie from UPR. It's gonna include a 4mm Allen. It's gonna include a 10mm long Allen bolt head with an 11mm nut on the back. It's got a pair of washers, and it is a nylock washer on this nut as well. We're gonna actually mount the first part to the strut tower here on the driver's side. So we're going to disconnect the mount. There we go. Okay, we're going to set the can to the side. We're just going to install our stud. Okay, so we're gonna go from the top down with the button head up. You put your washer in. Now this is the fun part, is getting this little guy to thread on here. Okay, now once you've got that started, you're gonna take an 11mm open-ended wrench, slide that in there. Then we're gonna use our 4mm Allen, which if you don't have your own set of Allen keys, again, UPR was kind enough to provide you with a 4mm in the box. Now as you're tightening this, you have the ability to change the positioning of your bracket here. And obviously once you go full tight, you want that positioned where you would like it. We pre-fit this before videotaping, and I've got it kind of at a 45-degree angle here so that when we mount our canister, the canister can come straight in line here. Okay, so next up would be the installation of the canister with the armature to our bracket that we just installed. Just a tip before doing so, if you've made any modifications to your order of the catch can, sometimes you can have a drain installed here from UPR, sometimes you can have the billet plug for the magnetic. Either way, you want to just check and make sure that that's whatever's on the bottom here, you want to make sure that it's snug. And so in this instance, it takes a 3/16 Allen, and we've confirmed that that's tight. Okay, so as I mentioned, we pre-fit this earlier, and I kind of was able to know that I wanted it at a 45-degree angle. So now with this at my 45-degree angle, we're going to tighten our nut here, and then this is going to be the location that our catch can resides. Okay, so we're going to start with the long hose with the catch can lines, and you're going to start with the longest hose with the check valve in it. This is going to be the line that has the 45-degree fittings on the ends. And the thing that you want to take note of in this instance is you always want your check valve, if you'll notice there's an arrow here, you always want your check valve running away from your catch can. Okay, so in this instance, what we're going to actually be attaching these to is we're going to be going to that port that we've now revealed that was previously plugged in your ProCharger install. We're going to actually be utilizing that port now. We're going to fish our line out and around, and then around to the back of the engine, around the IMRCs, and then back over to the canister. Got it?
Yep.
When you get to this side, you want to make sure that you clear your fuel line here so that you're underneath it. On the rear here, you've got the IMRC plugs. You want to make sure that as you're pulling this across here that you're not damaging the IMRC plug. There are wires that are there, so you need to be careful with those. Okay, so in this instance, our ProCharger vacuum block is kind of in the way of where I would like to run our lines here for the PCV. So I've disconnected that, and I'm going to re-secure that with a zip tie later. For all intents and purposes of this install, we want to make this not have any kinks in it, but it does have to have a gradual turn. We are going to zip tie this here later with the second line, and all three will get zip tied here to this location. Coming around this side here, again, just make sure that you have cleared your electrical connector here. You've not damaged anything. There are vacuum lines back here for the IMRCs. You don't want to damage those. You want to come around the corner here, make sure that you can get in to this side. Like so. Okay, your second line that you are going to install is again going to start on the passenger side. This time you're looking for the long line with two 90-degree fittings. This particular line has no check valve in it. We're going to attach one side of this fitting to the passenger side PCV barb. We're going to follow the existing routing that we already created with the other line that's going to the catch can. Then you're going to come around and fix the other 90-degree to the top of the catch can. Anything, you're going to end up right like that. We're going to zip tie all these into place. We'll clean those up, and then we'll affix it to the can. Okay, so I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I'm a little OCD, and I may have misled you a little bit, and it's not an issue if you've already started running it. However, you should probably start with the 90-degree fitting that attaches to the passenger side PCV if you want it to be as OCD and perfect as I like it to be, as opposed to starting with the 45-degree fitting that comes from the intake port, and here's why. When you're going to later secure them up against a fixed point to hide them underneath the engine cover, you're going to want them to follow a nice, unobstructed view, or line rather, and create a good view. What was happening previously was with the 90 having gone on first, with the 90 having gone on second, the 90 was riding on top of the 45, and that created some ugliness back here. So I've pulled those back through, redone them, put the 90 first, ran the 90 down low, done the 45s here second, ran the 45s on top. And now, finally, I've secured them here to a fixed location, the fuel rail inlet here. All right, so next up is the final two lines of the kit. These are both gonna go to your ProCharger intake tube. In a bit of movie magic, like I said earlier, we already had removed the ProCharger factory line setup for the PCV, where they have you set a brass fitting that comes out of the ProCharger intake into about a 4-inch hose section here that goes into a T-fitting, and then this went to both sides of the ProCharger, which you saw us remove those pieces earlier. Now what we're going to do is we're going to reuse this fitting, or this hose section here, to attach to the brass fitting in the ProCharger. And now we're using that T-fitting for one line that's going to be the check valve, and for one line that's going to be no check valve. And these are going to be the last two fittings that get attached to the CSS on the driver's side valve cover, and then the last fitting goes to the catch can. And before we get started on installing those lines, we're actually going to install the CSS. I know some people go crazy about the acronyms, UPR, CSS, LTH, all these things. The CSS is the clean side separator. So this is actually going to go on the clean side, which on this vehicle is the driver's side. So we're going to attach that, and then we've also got the actual oil fill is going to be replaced with this oil fill attached to a breather, and so we're going to create a VTA scenario there. So we're going to put these on real quick. Okay, so we're going to actually be attaching the line that has no check valve in it. That one's going to go to your CSS, the clean side separator. Then the middle barb is going to attach to the ProCharger inlet with the brass fitting, and then your check valve fitting is going to attach to the last side here on the catch can. We're going to actually remove the bumper for this, and we'll show you that process in an expedited manner, and then we're going to run all of these through the underneath the headlight area. Okay, once you've removed the 8s across the front, you're going to use a 10. I use a small 10 with a swivel and a very long extension. You've got two 10 mils inside the fender here. Just like that, remove both of those, then your bumper will be ready to come down, except for you have the 7 millimeters across the bottom and all of your clips for your fender liners. We're not going to show you that, but easy enough to remove. Okay, so you've got your bumper removed. You took off the 5.5, you took off the 8, you took off the 7s underneath, you undid all your bumper clips, you undid your bumper lights, bumper is removed. Now you may be able to do this with the bumper on. If you think you can, you must have small hands, and God bless you. We have put the car back down on the ground now after removing the bumper so that we have access. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the line that has no check valve in it. We're going to run this up and into the CSS. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go underneath the headlight, around the ProCharger head unit, and then up and in. Follow me. Okay, we're going to go around the ProCharger head unit here. Now you've got some grounds that are attached to the chassis here. Make sure that you're not hitting those or damaging those. You're going to pull your line all the way until that T-fitting is ready to go in on the ProCharger barb right here. You're going to start by getting your ProCharger lined up. Get your fitting here. Okay. Now follow me here. We're going to take this line. Come over here, puppy.
Where you at?
Right here. We're going to leave it as low as possible because we're going to secure this with a zip tie to this factory harness later. We're going to follow this brake line here. We're going to go underneath our bracket for our UPR catch can. Now this is very important. Your CSS, you need to have the barb not facing down. You can have it perpendicular backwards like here. You can have it up to the 45-degree angle. This is the route we're going to go. 45-degree angle, 90-degree fitting. It's going to come around here. We're going to zip tie it in place to the brake lines. We're going to zip tie it in place to the wiring harness. Okay, so now with that loosely wired, we've not yet secured anything. We're gonna work on the line that has the check valve. We've already got our CSS installed. We've got our ProCharger barb installed. Here's the last piece of the puzzle. We're gonna follow this through the same exact hole that we went with the first line. Again, being careful to not disturb the grounds on the chassis here. Now the main thing we're working on focusing on here is we are going to make a loop currently. This particular setup is going to be modified by UPR. We are going to change this to a different style fitting instead of a T. Stay tuned for the update to the video for that. But in the current format, we're utilizing the T, so we're going to make a loop here, but we want to do so in a manner that's not so drastic to create a kink. We can't have a kink, okay? We want to create a loop. And then you're going to secure it to the catch can. Now we're going to take one of our larger zip ties here. We're going to fish it underneath the factory wiring harness here, and we're going to secure both of the catch can lines. Doing so is going to keep them from ever making any kind of contact with the ProCharger head unit or the belt. Okay, as always, we're going to work on keeping everything unique and uniform and clean. So we're going to zip tie them to one another, and then we're going to zip tie this other line to the fixed brake line here. That's going to keep everything nice and uniform, nice and neat, nice and tidy. Okay, so guys, at this point, we have our 45-degree line going out and around, check valve running away from the catch can, 45-degree line coming into the intake port, 90-degree line going out and around, going to the passenger side valve cover, 90-degree fitting with the check valve coming down underneath, secured to the factory wiring harness, making a nice loop currently. That is going to be changed to an F-style fitting, and we will update the video at that time. Then here on the CSS, you have to have the CSS at an angle or at a perpendicular. Do not have the CSS facing downward. Again, that's a 90-degree fitting. We've zipped that to the brake line, attached it to the other hose, and attached that as well to the factory wiring harness. Everything's very secured, everything's good to go. The one last piece that we need to do here is we do need to attach the barb. We put the hose to the brass bar, but we need to attach the hose clamp to that. So we're gonna do that now. Good. Everything's good. We've got clearance. Clearance. My friends, I think that's everything. Okay, now we're gonna put the car back together. Okay guys, and there you have it. So now we've put the whole car back together. We've gone through all the process of which lines go where, how to route them, which check valves go to which direction. And I wanted you to be able to take this in as a final finished product. And as always, we want to thank our customers for giving us the opportunity to work on their vehicles, our vendor partners like UPR Products for allowing us to bring this innovation to their product line and allowing us to be a part of it. And as always, we thank you guys for watching. This thing is going to give us many miles of smiles and many protected miles. It's going to protect this ProCharger from getting anything in the, it's going to have no oil in it. It's going to catch it all. It's going to catch clean side. It's going to catch dirty side. So we should be good to go, and stay tuned for a review of it coming soon. Once we've had some miles on it, we'll do a drain and see what we've got for accumulation. And other than that, boys and girls, we will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions about this, or if you want to see more videos like this, please make sure that you like, you comment. Obviously, you can shop for these products at www.pp-fl.com. Please, as always, continue supporting us, buy your parts from us, bring your cars to us to install them. We appreciate you guys giving us this opportunity to live out our dream. Until the next time, we'll see you guys.